Hey guys, welcome back. Hey guys, Emery Bishop here. Welcome back. Nice to see you again. Just kidding, because I can't see you. Okay, so anyway, I am going to be talking about stacking. What do I mean by that? Well, I actually have a bunch of different projects that I'm working on right now, and I'm trying to be really conscious of where to put my energy. There's a theory about focus, so you just focus on one sort of project or one business at a time. I'm actually going to be challenging that, and I'm going to see if I can create a stack of projects that when they're put together, they actually have incredible synergy so that they can be more successful than individually what they would be on their own. So I've tried to maximize around the process and my curiosity. So it's a win even if they're not financially successful, because I get to learn all these new things, and so for me, that was the most important thing. And so let me talk about the stack that I've created for myself. So this is like a bit of a challenge for the next year. I want to be able to develop every level of the stack at some level. And we're going to start with the top of the stack. So the top of the stack is basically a foundation of my own personal brand. So that's starting this channel. It's doing some podcasting, it's writing some, publishing some books. Okay, so that's going to be the foundation. And really there, I'm focusing on freedom and cash flow. So I want to be able to not have to make decisions based on economic considerations as much. And I also, in terms of what kind of projects I work on. And I also want to be able to not have to start from scratch every time I start a new project. So having your own personal brand gives you a bit of that ability to move into new things and then have, folks be able to join you on those new adventures. I've spent so much of my career sort of building out other brands, and then when I leave those brands, I'm sort of starting from scratch. So that's the foundation of the stack. Everything else gets built on top of that. The next section of the stack is courses and newsletters. So I don't believe folks should do courses as a foundation personally, at least folks like myself who are entrepreneurs or creators or so on. I think it's a great complement to other things you're doing, and I actually think that by not making it your focus in terms of like your foundation and your main income driver, you can be a lot more I think authentic with like only teaching and sharing stuff that maximizes for the value it's giving to your students and your audience, and also not being biased by just trying to make it just a financial thing. And so for me, again, for cash flow purposes, I have other things that I'm doing that are creating economic outcomes. So this is going to be really helping me be more succinct about what I'm learning, be able to put those into frameworks that I can basically teach, and at the same time I can apply directly into my own projects. I also believe that folks that I like to learn from are folks that are actually already achieving what I'm trying to achieve in different domains. And so my goal is to only teach stuff that where I'm actually achieving success, and that way I can only share the things that actively that I'm learning that are working. The next part of the stack is physical and digital products. I have a service agency right now. It's actually the weakest part of the stack, frankly, and that's why I'm focusing on shifting gears, because I'm trading time for money. I don't like that idea. I like the idea of really focusing on building a product once and then selling it multiple times. So having something that is of value that people can buy, that is external from my own time, and it's not tied directly to me. If I disappear from the equation, it can still be just as successful than if I'm there. Whereas with my agency right now, I'm really in the mix, so if I don't show up at a meeting, it can undermine, our success there, and the team may not have the support they need to be able to be successful in that particular project. So I'm actually moving dramatically away from that to focusing the next part of my stack on building physical and digital products. What kind of products, you may ask? Well, that's to be continued, but we're going to be focusing on a lot of things around, I'm really interested in health and nutrition. So I'm going to be launching a nutrition product or a series of products under one brand. I'm also really interested in technology and apps. So I'm going to be launching some stuff related to apps and technology. And then finally, I'm really interested in education and entertainment and where those things merge. So I'm going to be working on a gaming experience and gaming studio and gaming projects. And finally, we get back to the agency piece. So again, I'm going to de-emphasize that right now, but when I go full circle back to the agency, it's going to be more as a way to amplify all the other things I'm doing. So really treating the agency more on our own products and services, more like a startup studio and less as a agency for hire. So that's going to be, the next piece of the stack. So keeping the agency going and then, sort of shifting it into a way to amplify all the other projects. And then the final piece of the stack I'm calling moonshots. And this is where I do really ambitious projects that require probably a lot more resources than I currently have, may require some fundraising. I should mention that everything else I'm trying to do is self-funded. So I want to try to make it as economical as possible. I don't have unlimited resources or even far from that. But I do believe that I have the ability to be very creative, and having limited resources per project forces me to be much more creative. I've raised money in the past for different projects I've worked on, and it can tend to make you a little complacent. And so I'm going to save any of the fundraising stuff ideally until I get to the moonshot level, where the project just requires way more resources than I personally have, and where I've taken all these other skills from these other parts of the stack that I can now reinvest and apply to that, last piece of the stack. And that ties to my broader mission, really trying to advance humanity and help humanity move to the next level. So that's going to be related to things around agriculture and food production and energy production, as well as I'm very interested in space and what we're doing in that area. In terms of going into colonizing other planets and exploring, the galaxies beyond ours. So these are things that again I'm calling them moonshots because they're very unrealistic for me to pursue right now. Or they would be very, very difficult for me to do without just entirely focusing there. So I'm excited about these other parts of the stack first, and then I'm going to move into that. So anyway, again, that's my my plan. Hopefully you learn something from that, and I'm excited about sharing some of the details of that in upcoming videos. So I'll be getting into a deep dive on each of these different projects as I'm building them out over the next year, and enjoy.